Kiyotaka Ayanokoji begins attending school in Class 1D at the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School, an institution established by the government for training Japan's best students. Class D homeroom teacher Sae Chabashira explains the point system where everybody gets a monthly allowance of 100,000 points that they can use as money at local shops with 1 point equaling 1 yen, and also warns the students that they are judged on merit. Kiyotaka begins navigating through the system, being careful about how he spends his points while becoming friends with the gregarious Kikyo Kushida and then attempting to become friends with the aloof outsider Suzune Horikita. In an attempt to become friends, Kiyotaka brings Suzune to a cafe where only girls meet, having secretly arranged for Kikyo and 4 other classmates to be there, but Suzune sees through their plan and leaves. As the month of April passes, the majority of Class D lavishly spends their points and slacks off in class without any reprimand, causing Kiyotaka to be suspicious. On May 1st, the D-class students are surprised to find out that they did not get an allowance, and Sae explains that their allowance depends on merit and, having ignored their studies, the class receives no points for the month. Sae Chabashira explains how the system works at this school, as the 4 first-year classes are all ranked by merit, and that D class has the opportunity to be promoted to C class should they perform exceptionally well on exams. She also warns them that, with the current situation, anyone who fails one more exam will be expelled. Now fully aware of the system, everybody is taking their studies more seriously except for the 3 biggest idiots of the class, Ken Sudo, Kanji Ike, and Haruki Yamauchi. Suzune Horikita treats Kiyotaka Ayanokoji to an expensive lunch to discuss the strategy, as well as bringing aboard the 3 idiots to the library to study. Kiyotaka and Kikyo Kushida succeed in getting them to come, but they leave immediately while Ken lets everybody know that he wants to make it rich quickly by going pro in basketball. That night, Kiyotaka goes out for a drink and overhears Suzune talking to her older brother, Manabu Horikita, the student council president, as Manabu tries to attack her over a disagreement about her view of isolation being independence, which caused her placement in Class D. Kiyotaka then intervenes, and after dodging several of Manabu's strikes, nimbly with ease, impressing him as he questions the fighting style, martial art, he studies only to get a vague answer. Manabu then remembers who Kiyotaka is, as he reveals that he scored a 50 on his entry exams and recent quiz before he asks if it was intentional, but Kiyotaka replies that it was just coincidence. Manabu voices his surprise that his sister made a friend, but she denies, as she doesn't need such a thing, where he voices his disappointment on her mindset before leaving. Suzune and Kiyotaka speak with each other, as she awkwardly apologizes to him for her earlier state, but he shrugs it off as if it were nothing. She soon remarks about his martial art fighting proficiency, as he answers that he used to do non-martial arts activities, like tea ceremonies, before Suzune reminded him that he contradicted his previous statement where he said that he did piano and calligraphy, which he agreed to that as well. She questions him on her brother's earlier query on whether he intentionally got the same exact half scores each time, but he doesn't give her a clear answer. Suzune then remarks that everything about him is a mystery, in which he asks her if she was really done with the study group, which she confirms, stating those who fail doesn't concern her. Kiyotaka soon inquires on whether if it was this distant and cold behavior personality of hers that got her placed in Class D, but she couldn't answer it. The midterm exams come, and Class D as a whole performs very well, with some scoring among the highest among the first years in the school. Class D gets the results of their last exam and everybody passes except for Ken, who missed the passing threshold by 1 point. It is revealed that the grades were the result of Kiyotaka spending 15,000 points to buy the questions to an old exam from an upperclassman 3 days prior to the exam, which is within school rules. On one of those days, Kiyotaka goes to invite Ken Sudo to the group but finds him being provoked by students of Class C. When Ken tries to attack, he is grabbed by 2 of them, as the leader Kakeru Ryuen approaches, saying he knows Ken will fail the test, being expelled. As he gestures what appears to be an attack, Ken gets scared and flinches as Kakeru simply flicks him on the head, amused by his fear. As he tries to continue his torture, Honami Ikinos intervenes, telling all of them to stop what they are doing, as Kakeru tries to say it was self-defense, but she threw it. She tells them to stop or she'll call security on them for fighting on school grounds if they don't comply, which causes them to let Ken go and leave. Ken is angered by his rescue and tries to get revenge on them, but Kiyotaka and Honami quickly tell him to let it go. Honami calms the spectators before leaving, as Kiyotaka asks Ken to join the study group, but he refuses and goes to basketball practice. Kiyotaka approaches Sae, asking the question of whether equality exists, and she answers that it does not, which Kiyotaka agrees with. Kiyotaka then offers to pay her with his points so Ken will not be expelled, to which she accepts but wants 100,000 points in exchange. Unable to pay such a price, Kiyotaka's offer is joined by Suzune, who offers 50,000 to buy the missing point from the teacher so that Ken's expulsion can be rescinded. Amused by this, Sae voices her earlier belief that the current Class D would interest her, and what they are doing is proving her point about with this. She accepts their offer and tells them to inform Ken he is not going to be expelled after all. That night, Kikyo organizes a little party to celebrate in Kiyotaka's room, to his dismay. As everyone enjoys themselves, Kikyo asks if Kiyotaka helped Ken out. As the latter and the others stop their activities and look to see if this was true, but he casts the credit to Suzune, who is barely able to explain. After the party, Kikyo leaves but forgets her cell phone, and Kiyotaka follows her to give it back, only to find out the truth about her personality before his view of this is revealed to her. Having discovered her secret personality, Kikyo demands Kiyotaka to keep it a secret, or else she will accuse him of raping her by having him forcefully touch her breast and using the fingerprints as evidence. He says he won't tell and asks to be released as she lets go of his hand. Kiyotaka thinks back to his previous encounters with her bubbly persona, wondering if it was all an act and if this person he is seeing was the real Kikyo all along. Kikyo then asks if she can truly trust him in not telling anyone about what he saw, which he promises to hide from anyone. She says that she will hold him to that as she takes a deep breath and returns to her bubbly self, stating they have another secret, just as he internally wonders who she really is. Like and subscribe and share for part 2. Thank you for watching.